Can y'all hear the hum coming from that tree? That's good to hear. So today is one of those pretty much work until I drop sort of days. In the last video, I showed you where I had dug up all of these beds with the excavator. And you can see I was out here this morning. I got 5 of these beds flattened out, and unfortunately they were the 5 shortest beds. So we've got 1, 2, 3, about 16 more to go. I think I was out here for about an hour this morning and I got those 5 done. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just raking it out, putting all of the rocks that are in here. You can see, I mean, that's just on the top. There's a lot more rocks underneath. So I'm raking out the beds, flattening them out, putting all the rocks in the rows here. And then I'm gonna move enough dirt in to cover them from the spot that is way over there on the other side of the circle here. Hopefully I can do that by this evening, and then I can tarp it all down because we got 2 days of rain coming, and I'm hoping to not get everything super saturated, and I'd really like to tarp off as much as possible. So we'll see how much I get done. And you'll have to overlook the outfit. This is my shirt I used to dye my hair when I was in Hawaii, and my shorts are not that much better. But it's all I got. I want to get some vitamin D going on. It's 1 down, 15 to go. That took about 13 minutes. If I really hustle, I could probably get through most of these today. We'll see how the energy holds up. Strictly speaking on numbers, I've finished half the rows. There are a total of 22 rows. I finished 11. So I think I'm gonna go inside, take a little sun break. Don't want to get burned, so I'm gonna go inside for a little bit and then we're gonna pick this up and finish it. It is now 1:21, so I'm really liking my odds of at least being able to finish flattening these out today. I'm very confident in that. These are not taking nearly as long as I thought they would. So close to being finished. I think I have like 4.5 rows left to go, and I'm starting to lose steam. So I think I'm just gonna put my head down and finish this up, throw in my headphones, and just go to town. So I'll see you on the flip side. I am currently in the midst of a minor crisis. I don't know how major it is, but it kind of feels like it's really pretty sucky. So my germination rates are abysmal, absolutely horrible. And so the first round of seeds that I started are the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, stuff like that. No issues whatsoever. Those were great. They're out in the greenhouse. They're living their best life. They are thriving. However, everything that I've started since then has completely tanked. It is atrocious, okay? Like, I think I got maybe 1/4 of the peppers germinated, maybe like 3 out of a full tray of kale has germinated. None of the flowers, well, there's some of the flowers on one of the trays that germinated. I mean, it's a mess. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 trays that I have to restart, okay? The tomatoes, it's a little early to tell on the tomatoes, but I'm really not feeling that I'm gonna have much of a difference on the tomatoes than I have on all the other ones. And here's my reason for it, okay? When I made my seed starting mix, I always use the same recipe. It is 6 parts peat moss, 1 part perlite, 1 part vermiculite, and a tablespoon of garden lime per gallon of mix. I forgot the lime. I don't know if this is affecting it, but it's really the only difference between the two. So, plan of attack to try and save as many of the starts as possible on the original batch. I'm gonna go ahead and fertilize them. I'm just gonna try, okay? But like, we're talking with the peppers, it's been a month. And if anything in there has not already germinated, it's probably not going to. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. It does, however, mean I'm gonna have a backup plan. So we're gonna restart 8 trays of seeds today. And I need to pick out all the seeds because being the good kid that I am, I actually put them away, which is, you know, it's a testament to the fact that for my particular brain, the way of organizing them that I've done works. I frickin' put them away, okay? Because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna need those again. Funny. You're funny, Anna. Okay, where are my empties though? At any rate, I have to go through all of these seeds and pick them all out. Again, 8 trays worth. Did this in 3 separate batches, so this might take me a hot minute. So I already went through, I separated each one. Like, I've got all, this is 1 tray, and I marked on each stick how many to start. And then from the tomatoes, since I made a tag for each one, I went the lazy route on that one. I just took one of the tags from that, and I just wrote how many I need to start on each one. So I'm just gonna go through, pull all of these, and then I'll meet you out in the greenhouse where we will hopefully perform a rescue mission. I decided to start fixing my camera angle. I decided to start the seeds outside because hubby's home today. I don't want to make a big mess in the house, and he's laid up with a knee injury. He's had a knee injury. It's just will not heal for like the last 3 weeks. So he's in the living room. The cat really wants in. I closed the door. So he's in the living room icing his knee and watching YouTube on the big old TV. So I'm out here also because I just simply enjoy being out here. But I got a couple cool things. I don't know if they're cool, but I got a couple things while I was at the store last time. I got an actual thermometer so I can read the temperature out here while I'm out here. Because up until now, I've only ever had that remote sensor. Ow, that's stretchy. So I can hang this up, and then while I'm actually out here, I can take a look and see what the temperature is. Looks like it's about 68. So I would say not bad at all. And then I got a backup thermometer because I don't believe the other one. I feel like it's not right. Let's get this thing up and running, shall we? Oh, come on. Where's my knife? Well, hopefully this comes with batteries. It's not looking good. I hate it when these things don't come with batteries. I paid 25 bucks for this thing. Should come with some dang batteries. 2 AA's. Doctor just to open this stupid thing. And 3 AA's. Of course, it can't be the same kind. That'd make too much sense. Got my batteries. It says it's 65 degrees in here. And 64 at the same time. I guess I don't have to sync them. It's working. This one's saying like 60. All of these say different things. We got 60, 65, 64. What temperature is it? I don't know. At any rate, our goal is to do something. First, I need to go and get my lime. Jeez, I've gone in and out of this greenhouse so many times today already. I'm gonna go get the garden lime while I'm out there. I'm gonna get you a new battery. And I have to go to the store. I cannot find my garden lime anywhere. I thought I had some. I'm so annoyed. Ready to do this. It's already 3:12. So by the time I go run to the store and get back, if I leave right now, it'll be at least 4:30. But that'll still give me A little over an hour and a half to do it. Let's go. I'm back. Got my lime. We're ready to amend. And then we're ready to start seeds. So I got probably about this much. There's no about. I have that much. I'm gonna put like a handful. Two handfuls. And just mix it in. I feel like I need more. I think I'll mix it some, then I'll add more. Shovel. It's supposed to be 1 tablespoon per gallon of the mix. So I think that should be good, because I don't know how much is left in here. I did put in 20 gallons originally, and I still got a very big chunk of it left. My back is still shot from yesterday. Okay, I feel like that should be good. Also, we have 9 trays that we need to start. When I had grabbed the little tags, I had left one of the trays worth in the grow room where I was writing them all up. So there's 9. This is gonna take so long. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually 10, because I decided that I was gonna add in a flat marigolds and calendula. Dang it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was trying to find another seed that I had. I can't find it anywhere. I had a comfrey seed that I bought from the Stivers. I've never planted it. I was going to plant it. I was going to start it. But I can't find it anywhere. I bought it like almost 2 years ago. Thought I knew where it was. Clearly I don't. Anyways. This is my least favorite part. It takes forever. So I just got this one in reserve. So we got these little lights like the first week we moved to Missouri, and we just never put them up. So I got them up because I know we are going to be going into the dark hours. So I did not realize, however, when I purchased them, that they're solar powered, which once I get the mount up will be nice to have. But until I get the mount up, I gotta figure out some way to get the mount up. That's about all there is to it. But it's not going to help today because it's gloomy and cloudy and gross, so seed starting time. It's the next day. It got dark. It got late. We tried lights. It was creepy as all get out, and I couldn't really see what I was doing very well. I was literally just trying to use my phone flashlight to try and see, and I was just like, you know what? We're gonna pick this up tomorrow. But before we do, I'm gonna attempt is a very strong word here. I'm gonna attempt to see if maybe I can get these things to sprout. We're gonna do that with a little bit of fish emulsion. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but it's all I got to try. In my handy dandy little, I don't know what you want to call it. And I have this set at 2 teaspoons per gallon. Nice soaking on each one that I didn't start yesterday. Although I am also having a little bit more hope today than I did yesterday on the tomatoes that I planted. Several of them were up. There were maybe like 5 that were up before, and now I'd say that's probably doubled. So the tomatoes might be just fine, but either way the fish emulsion will help. And we'll just have a lot of tomato starts. There are worse problems to have. This is really old fish emulsion, so hopefully it works. I don't know if it will. We'll just give that a couple days, see what happens. For now, you might also notice another issue that I'm facing. I have 5 more trays to do and 1 slot left. I guess if they're growing, they don't need light, right? Or if they're just seeds, they don't necessarily need light. So I can just put them on the bottom shelf where there are no lights. That's the plan. And then when they start sprouting, hopefully I'll be able to put enough of them outside to make a difference. Oh, oops. As I'm sure you can hear, it's still raining. Been raining for 2 days. Hopefully today, I believe, is supposed to be the last day. But everything is just wet and soggy and puddles are everywhere. Everything is just wet. Not just wet, everything is saturated. Because the ground around here, it'll take a certain amount of rain and like it'll just kind of absorb, but after a certain point, it just pulls up and it lasts for days usually. But I would take you outside to show you, but it's raining and you guys are about as waterproof as cotton candy. So I guess we'll just start our seeds. Try not to knock you over there. I got something I forgot yesterday. My favorite seed poking tool. Because it makes me not get in there too far. And it leaves a nice wide little path for me to drop the seeds into. And also, yesterday, when I was filling these things up, I completely forgot to tell you that I figured out a better way to do it that's not so irritating. With these specific trays, because they are so tough and durable, like you don't have to go through for a second round and like poke each hole in and then redo it. You can just cram the heck out of it. You can just push it in there as hard as you want and then like just go through several rounds of just pushing it all in. And then, this sounds like a very disturbing conversation, but then you don't have to do that. And as long as you make sure to focus on each row, you don't need it. One fill up will do, as long as you really force it in. But one thing, like I said, you got to make sure you hit all the rows. Because for me, when I'm filling up these trays, I typically miss the outsides, and the outsides tend to be a little bit more soft and cushy than the insides. So I focused on the outsides and didn't focus on the insides. So the insides of these ones are a little bit mushy. Not mushy, but they're less compacted. Recently, I've been talking to you guys a little bit, trying to get some feedback, some sources about electroculture gardening. And I'm still in the process of doing some experiments with it, but I'm definitely going to be moving forward with it and kind of implementing it into my garden, because I've seen enough online and also from people in real life who are following it and having really good luck with it, and just the science behind it just makes sense. At least the science that I understand. I am not a scientist. I do not claim to be. But I am a person with a brain and 41, almost 42 years of experience in my life, and I can make those judgments. So I'm going to move forward with it. I'll still be doing like experiments with it, like, you know, maybe same plants with versus without, all that kind of stuff, just to see if, well, no, just to see how it works, and also because copper ain't cheap. I can't afford to blanket my entire garden with it. But I'm also interested in something else that my sister, my older sister, you guys don't know her, but she introduced me to. She's talked about it in the past, but never explained what it was, so I kind of just dismissed it and didn't realize what it was. But she introduced me to something called Korean natural farming. Well, that's the wrong tag. Should never be allowed to do things like this without looking. Glad I got it early, huh? That is this one. There we go. Okay. Where's my purple? Purple. So anyways, she introduced me to something called Korean natural farming. And then she explained to me, in summary, that it's basically about using the natural inputs that you have on your property in your area and creating your own inputs. Instead of purchasing, you know, $65 per gallon worth of fish emulsion, instead you make your own inputs predominantly through fermentation. Kind of my thing. So it just made absolute sense for me to kind of look into it, and I have been completely fascinated by it ever since. I have been binging a lot of content about it. However, it's hard to find. See, there's like a system. It's a cheap system, and it's one that you make most of the inputs yourself, but I am given to understand that certain things that you make need to be applied at certain phases of the plant growth. So I decided this morning to go ahead and order 2 of the books that are associated with it. So this dude is like, he's like a guru. I don't remember his name. I just know that people call him Master Cho. I don't remember what his full name is. But he basically conglomerated a lot of Asian natural farming techniques into kind of one system that is reproducible basically all over. And by using the inputs that you have available, the things that grow well in your area, this is my understanding, okay? I still haven't even read the book, so if I get something wrong, my apologies, but I'm trying. Like if you want to fertilize something in the vegetative state, like when you're trying to grow lots of vegetation, like the first stage of a tomato growth, right? Then you ferment vegetation, you ferment green growth, and that helps to promote the growth of it. And then if you want to promote flowering, then you ferment flowers and you fertilize it with the fermented flowers. And, you know, same thing with, you know, when you want it to set fruit and have good, productive, you know, tasty, sweet fruits, then you would ferment the fruits. I think there's like 6 or 7 different fertilizers stages that you can do. So anyways, I'm very curious about it. I'm really trying to talk and not screw this up at the same time. It's fermentation. I've seen a lot of like before and after stuff, and there's a lot of people that I follow in the gardening realm who I didn't pay attention to before, but they're actually doing it. They're utilizing it. They're making it their own. Do I have enough of the pineapple? Yes. Shoot, what did I just do with that other one? What the heck? There it is. And so, anyways, that's a tomato. Where did you go? There you are. What were we talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about. But at any rate, watching all of these people that I already followed and didn't even realize they were using the principles of it and just kind of honing it to their area. Because most of the information available, especially like coming from they're from Korea. And they did a lot of work in Hawaii. So a lot of it is kind of tropical. And so you have to kind of follow people who are using inputs you have available. Because like, I don't have banana leaves available. I don't have, you know, papayas and you know, mangoes. I don't know what they use. But I don't have a lot of the things that would be available in, say, Hawaii, like for my sisters. They would use much different things than I would use, you know. So that was why I was talking last night about wanting to find my comfrey seeds, because that is something that can be used quite a lot in the fermentation. And you just like, you take like all this plant matter and, you know, or, you know, flowers or fruits and things like that, and you ferment them. You can do it in mass scale if you want to, or you can just do it on a very small scale. And the products that you make, you preserve it in like what seems to be like a 50-50 ratio with brown sugar. Once it's fermented, it preserves it, and it gives it a shelf life of like from 1 to like 3 years, depending on what it is. And then you just take off a small, like a tablespoon of it to make this large amount of it, and that kind of you fertilize like once a week, say. whatever the appropriate fertilizer is. I'm not explaining this very well because I don't understand it, to be honest. But what I do understand is that I've ordered the book, so I will understand it before too long. But what I also understand is that the principles of it make absolute sense. Basically, you're feeding the soil bacteria that is primed and ready to grow the things that you want to grow. And you're giving it the inputs that it needs for the different stages of its life. And it just makes perfect sense to me. The theory of it makes perfect sense to me. So I'm really excited to get that book. I paid for the expedited shipping. It said 1 to 3 days. So hopefully it'll get here before the next video, which it probably won't. Oh, never mind. My next vlog is going to be on Thursday. Today is Friday. So I probably will have had a chance to dig into it and to really kind of explore it and get a better understanding of it, because there's like all different ways to do it. Like one of the major inputs is just lactobacillus bacteria, and they take like rice wash water, like it's just the water, like you rinse off the rice, and then you take that water, you ferment it for like 5 days or something like that, and then you put that into milk and you let that create the curds and whey, like an extreme version of it, like there's almost no curds left, and then you use the liquid that's left over, add that to water. Like there's so many different things that you can do, so many different options, and it's completely customizable to your area. And they have all different kinds of natural pesticides and all different kinds, but like they have like certain types of pesticides that you can also customize to your area, and like ways to make it actually stick onto your leaves. So if you're having like disease issues, then you would spray this thing that's mixed with this other thing, I think it's called a wetting agent, and you spray it on the leaves, and then and it's all completely natural. It's like Castile soap basically, and you spray it on your leaves, so that helps the pesticide or the fungicide, whatever it may be, actually to stick to the leaves, and it will basically eradicate it. And it also helps with pest pressures. There's like an amazing amount of information and things that you can do for anywhere from free to completely dirt cheap. And there's also another one available his son created. It's called Jadam, I think. And I did not order that one yet because that one seems to be much longer term fermentation, much less cost, significantly less cost. There's no rice or sugar or anything to buy, and it's basically just using significantly longer term fermentation to create all of these inputs. So I'm very fascinated by it. How many of you guys use at least principles of Korean natural farming, or how many of you guys have researched it? I found a few different people that I enjoy. Dr. Drake, he seems to have a lot of information on it and like practicing, and it's not just limited to your garden. You also can implement a lot of the principles in like your chicken coop, in your pig pen, stuff like that. Like there's a ton of information available about that. Once I get the book, I'm going to kind of dig into that and figure it out. It's basically a way to make properly composting, good, healthy smelling animal enclosures. And it's basically done with lactobacillus bacteria. That's my understanding of it. Like I said, haven't read the book yet, but I am truly fascinated by it. And I'm probably going to be obsessing over it this entire gardening season. We're going to be making all the inputs that we can that are relevant for us together. I want to make them like as soon as I get the book because they take some time to make. And the nice part is like the tomatoes, when they start to come into season, like you can make the tomato fertilizer with the tomatoes that you get and use it next year. Like it's you just preserve it in the brown sugar and it preserves. Like it opens up a whole new world, because we all know fertilizers, especially organic fertilizers, are insanely expensive. Like literally fish emulsion is like $60 a bottle if you want to get some good organic stuff. Like, I'm sorry, but that is not in my budget. So just the thought of only having to use brown sugar, a cedar box, rice, like, come on. I would much rather do that. And it makes like, the dilution rate is 1 to 1,000. You are just in so much trouble, cat. Last year, I couldn't figure out what all these I thought that I had damaged my greenhouse with like weed whacking, or like when I was burning around it. No, it's my cats climbing my greenhouse with their freaking claws. How do you guys keep cats off your greenhouse? Please tell me. I would love to know. at any rate, I think I've chatted your ear off quite enough for today. So I'm gonna go and finish off the rest of these 4 trays, and then as I'm doing that, I'm probably gonna binge some more Korean natural farming videos. At any rate, if you want to see how I dug up my massive garden over there, be sure to check out this video right here. It's a fun-filled video, good for all ages. Peace out, sauerkraut.